Adelaide and tell us, what is this so-called news? Ma giggled as she cast a look across the table, satisfied that she had everyone's attention. Well, it turns out the Donalds won't be renting out the condo, up the street, as per the Sunset Bird tradition, for the first time what would be nearly 2 decades. A chorus of gasps and shocked expressions were all around, the initial shock of your eyebrows pinched. Mom might have considered them by name, but you and Liz always viewed them exclusively as the mean couple who would yell at anyone under 25 who crossed their paths. Your Ma continued on with the story, spreading strawberry jam over a piece of toast as she did so. They decided not to make big trips anymore. Fred's family will be visiting them at their home. Oh, so they're getting old. That seems nice for them then. Have a good summer. Meeting grandparents with no grandkids away from us. I hope they're still okay, even if they are mean. They've lived a very full life. It's nothing to sneeze at. And you be nice, Liz. You don't want to end up like them, do you? You and your sister cracked smiles at the joke. At least they won't be here to yell at my children anymore. Pfft, Lonnie! And that blunt comment got laughter from all 3 of you. Engrossed in conversation once more, you continued to chat with your family until the meal was over. Oh, snap. 3rd time's a charm. Step 3. Wait, what? What just happened? Did it backtrack? Okay, cool. As it went, the food was eaten and the cleanup had to be done. Liz took the role of washing the dishes and passed them to you for drying and putting away. You had set the cups in front of you that needed to go on the top shelf of the cabinet. Task was pretty straightforward for you. You were tall. That was simply your lot in life. You've always been vertically gifted. Which one's... This is kind of hard. Oh, how do I feel? I didn't think about it much. That was a struggle for you, because you remember how you used to feel so content when you were younger. Damn, she a baddie, though. Hey, sis. Why you a bad... Oh, my God. You just look at how long her upper arm is compared to her forearm. My God. On the left hand, you can kind of get because it's disproportionate. But on the right hand, it looks a little weird. Anyways, Liz shook you out of your internal musing by starting up an impromptu conversation. She seemed to be voicing thoughts that had been buzzing around in her head. I have to say, going back for another semester this fall is pretty intimidating. You'd think after the first year or 2 I'd have a handle on things, but no. You stole a glance at her, still placing cups in the proper place. I guess it's only fair. My first round was a pretty general classes, and year 1 of my architecture major was the basics. Now it feels serious. I actually have to know some of these things. The laugh she gave was flippantly airy, but the way she scrubbed at the plates held more force than necessary. I think it's really cool you want to be an architect. Don't be too impressed yet. Wait until see if it actually happens, but thanks. Your older sister's mouth quirked into a small smile. I'll be fine, one way or another. Oh, but I'm not trying to scare you away from college, if that's even your plan. What's going on with that anyway? You came to a firm conclusion recently. You simply answered the question as much as you were able and willing to. Liz's smile grew more reassuring as you did. You made it through 12 years on full-time education already. You can make your ideas happen, I'm sure. Sometimes it felt hard to believe in your public schooling experience was over. In the end. We rich, we could afford college. That's so true. I soared through with high marks. And you weren't going to miss it. It had been a familiar and fulfilling part of your life. Liz picked up on the silence her questions ended up creating. She decided it was time to make a closing statement on the topic. You're a good boy, 4. Do what's best for you, and we'll be back at it. Wait, did I misread that? We'll be here to back it up. Got you. Good boy. Thanks, Liz. At that, Liz happily passed the final dish your way. She waved a soapy, soaked hand as a farewell as she moved on to her next task for the cleanup job. Yuri focused on getting the last pieces put back where they belonged. You eventually moved on to a new chore, but that was interrupted by the sound of your cell phone. Oh man, cell phone technology's advancing. You used a silly novelty song as a cell ringtone. You casually picked it up from the table where you put it earlier. The phone was a couple years old at this point, having been a 16th birthday gift from your parents. They decided which model to get, but you got to pick the color. It was... My favorite color's yellow, but I'm kind of leaning on orange. Let's go orange. And it was just a phone. You didn't do anything to decorate it. The screen lit up as you gave a little device a swipe of one finger. You were informed by caller ID that it was Lee. You weren't surprised. Despite having busier and busier lives and not living in the same town, you had a good relationship with your cousin of the same age. Nar, the charm! Look, I'm not a girl... I was gonna say I'm not a girly girl. Oh... I'm so sorry. The charm was so essential. Especially once the miracle of both of you having your own phones finally happened. She got hers first, though. Tapping at the accept button, you answered her call. A familiar but bubbly voice came in right after. Hey, 4. Hiya. I trust I'm not interrupting anything major. Only some cleaning around the house. Oh, then you're welcome for my call. A distraction from that must have been desperately needed. It's good to hear from you. Right? She giggled, and then she could hear the jangling of the jewelry she must be wearing. Nothing amazing is happening for me either. I'm bored and felt like chatting. The charm would be the keychain that Cove gifted you on step 1. Oh, dropped the ball on that one. I gotta admit. Oof. Oh, that's so sad. I'm sorry. No. I felt like chatting. My morning shift ended, so I'm free for the rest of the day. Woo. That's good. You're off from your part-time job today. Like you, Liebman start dipping your toes into the workforce as of late. It made keeping in touch frequently even more complicated, but you both managed. What about you? Yeah, it's been pretty normal. Cool. That's so like you then. So, how's Mr. Cove Holden? There was a teasing bent to her tone. She was never willing to let up what was going on between the two of you. But that name was incredibly familiar to your ears. Cove, your next door neighbor for the past decade at this point. Oh, he was your boyfriend? Oh, man. He was your best friend. At least you hadn't admitted you felt more than that just yet. Someday, you thought, someday, you know exactly how much he meant to you. How are you even surviving without the boy being 10 feet away at all times? Or is everything right in the world again and he's back? No, Lee, he isn't here. Do not confess to Cove yet. Alright, got you. No, Lee, he isn't here. Just like he wasn't here yesterday, or the last time you asked, or the time before that. My bad. Can you blame me? Doesn't seem like he should have made his grand return already. Anyways, I'm gonna visit soon. He needs to be there too. You can understand where she was coming from. This is certainly outside the norm. For the past couple months, you've been, and the last few weeks especially, Cove has been going to his mom's place in Nevada. Two of you still regularly stayed in contact over text and calls, but still. Your mind began to drift back in time to all the prior trips he'd taken with her, to visit her. Almost every year he'd have to go away for a while, and then he'd be back. You weren't a fan, but you made do. Your mom's helped you ship out pet care packages to him and his mom. It was always full of really great stuff. He sent you regular letters in return. That's how it was in the past. But lately, he's been trying to see her as much as he could before taking long trips to another state became too impractical to do. His part-time work could become full-time soon, or he could be moving somewhere else for school. Cove hadn't actually been clear what his plans were after graduation. Cove was hesitant to speak on that, even with you. It couldn't be avoided forever though, and you both knew that. Maybe we should switch this up to a non-Cove related topic? Sounds like a plan. The rest of the conversation rolled on. Not much longer though. Lee had to go and you didn't finish your responsibilities around the house. The both of you exchanged goodbyes when you went back to what you'd been working on before the call came in. Ah, damn! Look at her, got the hat on. That's a cute outfit. Also, dresses like that were pretty popular in the Philippines. As you wrapped up the last of your chores, you were approached by Liz wearing a cheeky smile. I got Mom's keys. Want to get out of this tiny town and do some shopping in a real city? Our sis is a baddie. Yep, Crystal, you know how it goes. She a baddie. That sounds great. Good. I'm driving. I'm 18. I should know how to drive. It was not severe to do that. You had a license, but I try to avoid driving when possible. Now get your light and anything else. We're going now. I'm sorry, but I gotta... There you go. You get some love. With a nod, you made a quick detour to collect your stuff from your bedroom. You had your money saved up from all the part-time work you've done, as well as gifts you've received. After making sure you're both fully prepared for the long haul to the largest city in the surrounding area, you buckled into the car. It was a smooth ride there, with light conversation about what shops to stop at and the radio blasting. The trip there breezed by, and what felt in no time, you'd gone from cruising down the road to cruising through the mall. Damn, so we just took our car right through the mall? Man, how many pedestrians we hit? Liz had her interests to check out, and you yours. You've gotten new things since you grew up. Games were fun for you. You liked video games, card games, and I wrote things. I enjoyed learning new things, and you like to hang out with people, going to the beach, swimming. I like to read manga and comic books. That was everything the major that came to mind. When turning a corner down a length of the mall, your eyes caught on a little gift store. Your friends and family had recently given you many presents for graduating high school. You realized you wanted to give a graduation gift yourself to give Cove. Graduation may have already come and gone, but Cove wasn't really around then anyway. You'd keep an eye out for something good, though you might have something nice for him at home already. Eventually, the mall was explored in full, with every shop of note being checked over. Rather than going home, you decided to walk over to some smaller stores nearby. Liz had many thoughts on that topic. Honestly, malls are not a bastion of society. Even if smaller stores require extra distance, the brands are so much more. Then your sister abruptly stopped speaking and walking right in the middle of the path. It was a good thing no one was behind her. She seemed to entirely shut off for a moment. Liz? The attempt to catch her attention was unsuccessful. Something else had all her focus. Before you can puzzle out what might be happening, she began to mumble out the corner of her mouth. 4, don't draw attention, but look. What? With a harsh whisper and a subtle jerk of her head, she urged you once more. Look! You followed her gaze as best as you